Hello and welcome to my class. Today we will be taking up another important topic of grammar section, and as you can see it is letter writing. Today in this video we will be dealing about the classification of letters, and on the basis of classification we will be talking about the type of formal letters, and we will be taking up three type of letter which are very relevant from examination point of view in the examination of 10 plus 2 of Himachal Pradesh Board of School Education. Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Jaswal Creation by Naren. Kindly do subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will be taking about letter writing, its type and format. Firstly, I would like to tell you that on the basis of purpose, we divide letters into two parts. First part is called formal letters and second one is known as informal letter. Informal letters, we talk about or we deal about officials or business matters, and while writing informal letters, we take up social or personal matters while writing any letter. And in this video, we will be focusing just on formal letters, and the categories about which we are going to talk is, firstly, we will be dealing with business letters and official letters and or official letters. In business letter or official letter, we generally ask or give information regarding any particular topic. Placing orders and sending replies come under the category of official or business letter. If we want to make any inquiry or we want to register any complaint regarding any particular person or any firm, we use formal type of or official type of business type of letters. In second category, we will be talking about letters to editor. In this category, we cover the topics if we wish to express our views to a journal mass through a popular print medium. We can use the letter to editor. We can write a letter to editor of a particular newspaper or any other writing media, and by writing them we can give suggestion on any particular issue, generally on a current one, or secondly we can express our views or concern over whatever is going around us. And thirdly, we will be taking or talking about letters of application. In the category of letter of application, in this class or class of plus 2, we will be dealing only with the application for jobs extra. Otherwise, letters of application covers a large sphere, but in this very class, we will be only taking up application for jobs and how we write all these things. Now, we will be taking up the major or important thing about letters. Those are the parts. Generally, whenever we are writing a formal letter, we have 7 major parts which every student or a learner should know about. First of all, the first part is sender's address. Whoever is writing a letter to whom is a sender, means who is sending the letter, and the address of that particular person who is writing or sending a letter to someone comes on the top of and at the left hand side. Earlier, this address used to be written at the top right hand corner, but with the time frame the format has also changed, so we will be keeping one thing in mind, that while we write a letter, we write the sender's address on the top left hand corner. And one more thing that is now different from the earlier days, commas or full stop or any other sign are generally omitted. Now, talking about the second important part of letter is, the second one is date. After writing the sender's address, we leave one line and then write the date. Because now we are writing a formal letter, so we have to follow the formal pattern of writing date. And the formal pattern of writing date is this one, or we can follow this one. Try to avoid any other pattern of writing date as we are following the formal pattern. We will be first writing the month, then date, and then year, or otherwise we can do this thing as well. We can write the date first, month second, and then year. So we should always keep this in mind that only these format should be used while writing format letter. Now come to the third point or third part of letter, that is receiver's address. You are writing a letter to somebody. That somebody is the receiver of that very letter. And generally in our question paper, the question itself explains who the sender is and who is going to be the receiver. So always keep this thing in mind that you have to follow the question paper, and half of the answers are generally given in your question papers. So the receiver's address will be given in the question paper. You have to take this thing up from the question paper and write on the third front. Means after writing sender's address, you have to write date after leaving one line, and after leaving one or two more lines, we will be writing receiver's address. And this receiver's address is also written on the left hand side, and we have to leave at least one line after writing the date. Next one comes salutation. Although before salutation we use subject as well, but I am not talking about subject here. I will be taking the fourth part as salutation. Salutation doesn't mean anything big. Salutation means the form of addressing somebody. While writing formal letters, we use sir or dear sir for individuals. If we are writing to a firm or a company, we would use salutations such as sirs, dear sirs, or if the addressee is a female, a woman, we will be using madam or respected madam. And we can use dear Mr. Thakur, dear Mr. Sharma, dear Mr. Kumar, dear Mr. Rajender. But this salutation is used only if the person whom you are writing is known personally to you. There are some concepts regarding writing dear in formal letters. People usually say you cannot write dear while writing a formal letter. But that's a misconception. You can use dear as well while writing your salutation, but the condition remains that the person whom you are writing is personally known to you. After your fourth part, the most important part of your letter comes, and this is known as body of letter. Generally, this body of letter is the overall theme or soul of the letter. The content, whatever is written here, shows the entire concept or thing you are talking about. So we have to be very careful about writing the body of letter. And while writing the body of letter, we must be brief, precise, and to the point. We must not elaborate the things unnecessarily. Nothing except related to business should be written, and any unnecessary detail should always be avoided, so that the body of letter doesn't go too large. As these letters are official, formal, we should come to the point straightforward. And we will be discussing about how to write the body of letter in this video itself, because this is the soul of the letter and we should keep some important things in mind while writing this letter. So stay with me, don't leave the video early. We will be discussing this thing in the end of the video as well. Now the sixth part of our letter, it comes as subscription or is called complementary clause. Just don't go to the bombarding words complementary clause or subscription, because it is not that big. It is just important part known as yours faithfully, yours sincerely, yours truly, yours respectfully, extra. While writing complementary clause, we can use all these gestures such as yours faithfully, truly yours, or sincerely yours, and we have to follow the set pattern as we are writing formal letters. And the last part of our application is known as signature. Signature here, when the letter or the body of letter comes to close, we close it by subscribing or complementary closing it, and then we write our name. Just initial signature doesn't make the sense complete. Whenever we are writing a business letter or a formal letter, we have to put our full signatures while writing the application or a letter. And generally one thing is always kept in mind below. If you are doing an initial signature, a shortcut one, we have to put full name and designation after writing or after doing initial signatures. So when the signature comes, it doesn't mean your initial. Always keep in mind while writing formal letter, whether you are writing to an editor, whether you are writing to anybody else, you have to write your full name. With this, I would like to say that the seventh part of our letter come to close, and now I will be explaining the same seven parts of your letter with example of writing an application or a letter that is formal in nature. Just suppose you have a question given in your examination that insanitary condition has made life in your locality miserable. Write a letter to the sanitary inspector of your MC, municipal corporation, requesting him to take necessary steps before it is too late. Just evaluate the question and then you have to write it. If you go through the question, you would find that the sender's address is not mentioned here. Nobody is addressed to as you are such and such person and you are writing a letter. Here just a person to whom you have to write a letter is mentioned, that sanitary inspector of your MC. The receiver is this one, but sender is not mentioned. In such cases, we don't leave the first content empty. The first part won't be empty because nobody has mentioned the sender here. We will be imagining somebody as sender and shall put his address on the top of our letter, such as we will imagine that 775 Jahangirpuri, Pune is sender's address. This is the first part and is written on the top of our left hand. And after that, we will be taking up the date or writing up the date. Today is, suppose, 17th May. So we will be writing this way: 17, then month, and then year. After writing date, we will be leaving one more line and shall write the receiver's address. Here the receiver is sanitary inspector of your MC, as the mention of the sender is given as Una. So we will be writing sanitary inspector municipal corporation Una. After that, we will be writing subject, which I have not described or elaborated in our previous part. But while we write a letter or formal letter, we add subject. This this subject tells about the complete letter in just one or two lines. Generally, subject is written in one line. And after writing subject, we add salutation. And there's a change in CBSE pattern of writing subject and salutation. It is nowadays and further on, the salutation will be written on top, and after that the subject will be written. Means after receiver's address, the salutation will come first and then the subject will be added. But till now in HP Board of School Education, we are following the same pattern as I have written here. After salutation, the soul of the letter comes. It is known as the body of letter. The situation that is being dealt here or you are facing has to be written in the body of letter, that the sanitary condition in your area is not very good. Such and such conditions are there, and you expect that this condition should be improved very soon. This is the body of letter, and this part we will be taking up after completing this section of 7 part with examples. And after writing the body of letter, we will be taking the 6th part, that is known as complimentary clause or subscription. And in this we will be writing yours faithfully, and lastly we will sign ourselves whatever name is given in question paper or imagining something else. Generally we write in examinations such as XYZ or ABC as receiver or sender. So with this, it is now clear that we have 7 plus 1 subject as well. 7 sender's address, date, receiver's address, salutation, then body of letter and complimentary clause, and lastly we sign. 7 important part beside writing subject. So this is how we write a formal letter. Now the another important aspect. The confusion remains how to write the body. One thing, whenever we are writing the body of letter, we have to keep 3 things in mind. The things are, first of all, we shall divide the body of letter into 3 parts. First part will be introduction to the problem, such as in this previous letter we had written, I beg to draw your attention to the insanitary condition of Jahangirpuri area of this city. Mainly poor people live in this area. This is the introduction of problem, that they are facing insanitary condition in area. Secondly, we will be dividing the second part into causes and effects. Because of this problem, what effects are being raised? What are the causes of this problem? We will be writing that in the second section of body. And in this letter we had discussed earlier, we had talked about there are very few proper drains. Reason of insanitary conditions are few proper drain system. Drains are not regularly cleaned. They are never flushed with water. No dustbin have been provided. These are the causes. And effects. People throw all their refuses here and there, flies and mosquitoes buzz about. All this give this area a very dirty look. It can create some diseases as well. These are the effects. And thirdly, we will be taking in the mind why we are writing letter. The main intention of writing letter shall come last with effect. It should be effective one. And such as in this letter we had written, I hope you will take suitable measures to improve the insanitary or sanitary condition of this area. That what you are willing from the addressee to deal the problem with. This should be written in the last part of your body of letter. So it is very eminent or important now that you must be aware of writing the body of letter, and you have to keep all these merely these three things in mind while writing the body of letter. Introduction to the problem. Second part will be causes and effect to the problem, and lastly the main intention of letter. If you are writing all these three parts while writing the letter, this letter will be effective one and you will get good marks from the examiner as well. So with this, the today's topic comes to close. Thanks a lot for bearing with me or having a good time with me. It's all from my side for this day with this video. Follow me for more in the way to come. I will be giving some description of my previous videos regarding grammar sections. Kindly follow and share the video.